Box TV.
Yes, thank you all of you who have just tuned in to Nara 24 FM. My name is Hussein Babo, and I'm your presenter when it comes to this program here. And it's like, okay, you all of you Ugandans who have just tuned into Nara 24 FM. I thank you so much. And today we always discuss about different things. And this is Nara 24 FM. And those of you who have tuned to Nara Box TV, thank you so much. Those of you who are following us on Nara 24 FM, because when you go to your Play Store, you can find our application. It's called Nara 24 FM. If you visit Afro Mobile, you can find our application. If you visit your TV, you can still find our application. At the same time, if you visit Radio Garden, you can find our application. Only log into your www.nara24fm.com. You can always find our links and different platforms whereby you can always find Nara 24 FM. I'm called Hussein Babo, and this is our morning show at Nara 24 FM, and the show is called Uganda at Length. But in this program, we always talk about different things. We always talk about the economy of Uganda. We always talk about the health of Uganda, the infrastructures, the politics of Uganda, and whatever is happening within the country. But as you hear the name Uganda at Length, we always focus on things which are affecting our country, and always we need to find a way forward. We always need to find a solution for whatever is happening. Yes, because I want to tell you, this last week as Uganda, we had challenges whereby our own minister was murdered by his own bodyguard. In the very week there, we lost our own blogger by the names of JJ Ichuli, commonly known as Isma Olaxes, but his real name is Ibrahim Tusuvida. He was murdered in cold blood, and those who were responsible for these killings and what have you, according to Uganda police spokesperson Fred Enanga, yesterday they came out with some information whereby they shared with the public, and New Vision today they have an article about what was passed out by the police, because in the statement, yes, in the police statement, and according to so far the police findings, the killings were they were targeted actually himself. It wasn't a random killing, according to the spokesperson. It wasn't a random killing, and maybe his driver by the names of Waswa Martin. Yes, because it was with the Olaxes in the same car, but he made unscathed. Then has the driver, but they used a pistol for the killing, and it was shot, as in it wasn't in a range distance, but it was close, according to the police findings and the investigations. Actually, I had, that side of Munyonyo, there's a playground whereby I had gone there for a football match. Then after, I went to for what you can call dinner at Nyakana's eating place, that side of Munyonyo. Then when he was driving back, these are a few things in the statement. When he was driving back around Munyonyo, and yes, it is Munyonyo Entebbe Express highway, then he received a call. This is according to the police. He received a call. Then he ordered his driver to park aside. Then they wait for the one who was near side of the call, but he didn't turn up, according to the footage and what have you. He didn't turn up, so then they had tried to drive off towards his home, their side of Chanja. According to the information, he was murdered at around 9:15, 9:20, around there. But his driver is one of the suspects so far, according to what is at stake right now. But this, most of according to the spokesperson, they are not yet to identify exactly what caused their killing, though his posts when it comes to the videos and what have you, because these people use it as a blame too. They use it as whereby they can use it to, you know, to say what really happened and what caused this, the cause of his murdering and what have you. They are blending it with the videos last made about the late minister Angola, even his, because the president of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is among those who mourned for him, and he called those who killed Isma pigs. Yes, he called them pigs. And but he stated that for them, as the NRM government, they are used to defeating their opponents, those who are opposing them, with facts. It's not like a murdering and what have you. When they come to our oppositions, our opponents, with facts. So that's what he said. But he said the killing, those who kill Isma, they are pigs. That's what he said. But secondly, I was telling you that those were like, okay, you know, because over talked about the minister, blah blah. You know, his words were too sharp. Because it was a Luganda show, but there was like his words were too sharp, and so that's why he was killed. That's why he was murdered, because he talked about the ministers and the way they were behaving towards the citizens of Uganda, the way these people they were like behave towards their own. They call them servants, the way these ministers and what have you, because those are a few things which you can pick into his last video. Isma Olaxes, what he had to hat out according to by the death of Charles Ngwa the minister, then the late, I can tell you the late, because he was murdered by his own bodyguard. Though the police is yet known to find out exactly what caused Sabit, the bodyguard, to murder his own boss, not yet, but maybe they'll come out with a report. And then about Isma's case, also they are trying to get us the information. So it was like, according to Mr. Enanga, they found a glove which they're like, okay, suspected to be used by the shooters, and according to the cameras and what have you, when these people here, they were two, then when they reached the main road, they took off with a motorcycle. Then that means jointly those are three people, according to the spokesperson Fred Enanga. I'm going to go a little briefly in this statement, because I don't want to okay, let me see whether I can get some more information here and share it with you, because this story was published by New Vision when it comes to the murder and the killing of Isma Olaxes, the blogger. So let me see here if I can get some information, then I'll share it with you so that you can also be in the know of what happened and what's going on right now when it comes to the investigations from the police and the information they had to pass to Ugandans, because Ugandans in the answers. And by the way, yesterday there are situations whereby you know, it was a very difficult day for the police because there were some demonstrations in Kampala because they tend like, okay, it was announced some time back about the corruption and what have you, plus the high prices of the commodities here in Uganda. So there were demonstrations. Then also in the Kampala suburb place called in Naweru, there they were like okay, yes, those were like you who use these stuffs here for making bombs. That is fake bombs. So they were also arrested by the police. Then the police warned that let the politicians don't use such platforms to start destabilizing the peace for those normal Ugandans who have peace. Then they're like, you politicians, stop. I don't know whether it was the politicians who engaged in that, but maybe they come up with a report, then we shall share it with you. Yes, okay. This is the version of the story, and according to what really police had to share with us, because we need to know exactly what really happened. According to this story published in New Vision, let me see. Yes, published by a New Vision. Yes, two more detained in connection to blogger Isma Olaxes murder. Then two more people have been detained in connection with the death of popular video blogger and political commentator Ismail Ibrahim Tisubida, aka Olaxes. This is the story in New Vision. Together with the CTZ driver Matthias Waswa, who was unarmed. Yes, they are not harmed with the having, but not hurt at all. Yes, he wasn't harmed at all in the shooting incident. But exactly, this really perturbs everyone thinking. He was in the car and Isma was in the passenger's seat, but all the shots and what have you, he was not armed at all, so he wasn't hurt at all. Then during the deadly attack, this raises the total number of suspects to 3. Outside the driver, we have other 2 suspects arrested. So together we have 3 people we are interviewing for now, police spokesperson Fred Enanga said. Enanga emphasized that Waswa is still being held by the police and he is assisting with some lines of inquiry. On May 6, 2023, at about 9:15 p.m. in Chanja Central Zone, Olaxes 51 was fatally shot by unidentified gunmen close to his residence. He noted that the investigating team is also looking into the victims and his driver's complete journey from Monyonyo at around 4 p.m. until the shooting occurred. Enanga noted that they had already got some leads in their investigation. He stressed that task teams are still gathering information and speaking to witnesses to assist the police understand the facts of the case. We can confirm that it was not a random attack but a targeted incident, he added. So that's what they had to share with us little when it comes to that information. So it's really absurd for our own blogger Isma Olaxes is now dead and buried. He was buried on Sunday. It's really upset for the blogger, but that's what's happening. So about what really happened yesterday in Kampala City, it was about the demonstrations for those who felt like, okay, things are not moving on well here in Uganda. They're like, okay, the economy is not good, and the overpricing of things, then the corruption and what have you. So that's why they had to organize such a demonstration, but also police had to come in as soon as possible to at least calm the situation, because for them, however much the police feels like, okay, the things are not moving on well, but they sought to protect their country. They saw, okay, we have to protect our own country, and we have to stabilize the nation. You have to keep peace, you have to keep law and order, you have to keep peace. So whenever you come out with such a demonstration, because I don't think it's always clearly stated that maybe it's like you have to inform the police when you are going to have such a demonstration, but I don't think it's there's anybody who was ever given permission to hold such a demonstration here in Uganda. I'm okay. I will to find out, and maybe I'll try to do some research about it. But police says, because this is the law, that's where most of Ugandans tend to think that they don't have their freedom of speech, they don't have their freedom of expression, and yet it's constituted in the Ugandan constitution. But they feel like they don't have that freedom to speak, they don't have that freedom to demonstrate, and yet into their constitution it is really stated that every Ugandan has freedom to speech, freedom of demonstration. But when you try to communicate to police, inform them, guys, on such and such a day, we have up peaceful demonstration, however much you sugarcoat the word peaceful, however much you brand it with any designing and decoration that we are gonna have a peaceful demonstration, I don't think and I don't believe that there's anyone who has ever given the permission by police to hold such a peaceful demonstration, because sometimes though these demonstrations, they tend to Uganda, okay, it's like every person, all every nation, all citizens, if they feel like they are not wow, how can I call it, if they feel like the government has not had them well, or they have things or issues to be settled around or to be worked upon, and they have some information they want to pass to the government, they use demonstrations. In those countries whom we call the developed ones, in quotes, yes, the developed countries, they tend to use such demonstrations to demonstrate to those in those offices, to those who are concerned, because some of them, they're like, okay, if you write, yes, they might receive our letter, but they might not even react to it. If we do ABC, they might receive it, but they're not do this. And so for them, they try to demonstrate peacefully, but here in Uganda, it has never happened. And I'm yet even known to confirm that there's anybody who has ever written a letter to police requesting for the permission to be allowed to demonstrate, and this person is being granted the permission to demonstrate. So for them, they don't inform the police, and that's where police comes in straightforward. Either you've started your demonstration, whether it's peaceful or it's not, for them they're like, you're not given the permission to do your demonstration in every place where you feel like you want to demonstrate. Because I think if it was a peaceful demonstration, they could even get protection from the police themselves, because it's their right. It's their right, it's everybody's right to be protected by the police. And so, but here the police come to disperse. You guys, fanya fujo na hapa hakuna cha kufanya fujo here. Then they're like, shh, they have to, the way they handle them, you're like, you're fanya fujo here, shh. Then you're being taken to where they feel like, okay, you're not causing the stability and the security plus the peace of those where, like, you feel like even coming to Kampala yesterday, it wasn't a little bit easy because of that demonstration. Then about this the bomb things this side of Nabu and what have you, the police try to manage it well. Even the citizens were like, okay, we know that that house, we know that place, but we don't know exactly what they're doing, because if somebody is working, we can say, okay, today has passed at this time, even next time this morning. But they're like, okay, they see kids, but they don't see the people who are staying in that place. So they're like, hey, not even sure that are they really citizens of that place. So that's where the police had to get the information, and they had to react towards that. So also maybe they'll come out with a report and try to inform the Ugandans that this took place that side of Nabul. That's on 8th of May. That's of yesterday. But though these people were arrested and what have you, all the demonstration was cut short according to what was happening in the Kampala city. But such situations, they need to be worked upon, and they need to find solutions. They need to find way forward, because at any given moment, if you're like not answering such questions, then when it comes to such demonstrations, they will again and again and again resurface. Because what we are having right now in Uganda, when it comes to the infrastructures, things are not good. The roads are not good. The cost of the petrol is high. Then the infrastructures, the roads themselves, they are too bad. In that the petrol is expensive, then the roads are too bad. Then that's a combination of whereby things are expensive. And for them, they were like, okay, there's a lot of corruption here in Uganda. People are given money to do the procurement from their office of the prime minister, but people, they are misusing their money. Somebody's told that you're responsible for A and B to do this for this and such part of the country, but people, they misuse those funds for their own benefits. You know, that's really disturbing every Ugandan who thinks now that, okay, you know, we need to be assisted by our government. These things have to be worked upon. The laws have to be, you know, and this other thing here, it's affecting the entire nation, even the tourists themselves, because when they come here to Uganda, they do spot the areas to tour around when they come to Uganda, and they bring a lot of money. But because we have one airport, that's Entebbe Airport. That's where they land from. Then they travel from Entebbe Airport via Kampala City, then through their destinations, the hotels they have booked, then to go to the forest or what have you, or the parks where they feel like, okay, they need to go and tour around. But the process from Entebbe Airport to their destination over their tourism place and what have you, it's not really good. Then the Uganda Tourism Board, they need to at least find a way of talking to those who are responsible, and because in tourism we get a lot of money. That's what I can tell you. We get a lot of money. That's what I can share with you. So when tourism is not really active, when the roads are not good, that means the economy of Uganda is being affected, and that means our budget is not going to be as good as it should be. So at the end of the day, you'll find out when the economy of Uganda is not moving well, and misusing of the funds, because money being given for a different thing, then it's being used for another. People tend to, you know, to work for God and my stomach, not for God and my country. And yet when they get their constitution and the Bible, the Quran, they always say I, when they are swearing in, I so and so, I Hussein Babu. Then he or she starts, then he holds the Quran, or he or she holds the Bible. I swear, I solemnly affirm that I truly preserve the constitution of Uganda. So help me God, so help me Allah. So I don't know, those things there, when they're uttering them out, are they meaning them? Are they really meaning what they're saying? Because at the end of the day, you even seek for God's protection while you're swearing in, while you're coming into a public service, whereby you're like, okay, so help me God, in that I can serve this nation well with the help of God. Because when there's no God's mercy in anything, nothing can be worked upon. When there's no God's mercy, nothing can be achieved. So they tend to hide into that. You get the Bible, then you even call upon the Almighty to come and help you, to come and give you protection, but that's the end of it. When you're swearing, after swearing, everything is done. You get the Quran, so help me Allah, you call the Almighty, and then the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, you also call upon him. You're like, okay, then you say that Allah help me preserve and protect the constitution of Uganda. I will preserve blah blah blah. You know, those of you are swearing in, you know the words you use. It's like basically cram work, just cram them. Then when you come into those offices, 1 month, 2 months, then you start acting like an animal. So please, just help Ugandans. That's why we don't need such demonstrations. We don't need to be with such bad roads, because people tend to come out to campaign with campaigns of bad roads in Uganda, bad roads in Kampala. That's not a good brand. That's not. Then some of you even have the guts of coming out and tell the community and tell the Ugandans that please, what you're doing is not good. It's not good for tourism in Uganda. Then what do you expect for them to do? You know, those who use the social media platform for their campaigns, it worked. I think on my side it worked, because I hear I believe the His Excellency came out again with it was like, okay, these people need a budget, because everywhere on social media it was, you know, the out of the day, on that day, that when they said, okay, let's they use this word here, it's a Uganda word called it to Valavi, say let's get out the pictures wherever you are, you try to explain about the picture and what have you. So indeed, I think on my side that campaign worked, but it's not good to use social media and then to tarnish or to brand our country. It's not like tarnishing because it's the truth, but we need to react towards certain things that need to be worked upon for our country to exactly benefit in it, because really our economy is not doing well. And these guys were demonstrating. I've told you, I've never seen anywhere any clearance for any Ugandan, any activist group that you know, guys, you can go and demonstrate peacefully. I've never seen the clearance at any given moment. They always say you seek for the clearance, but you are not granted the permission. That is when that person or that group, they really did they followed the protocol of communicating to police. So all in all, we don't need such demonstrations. We need to have a free and peaceful Uganda. We need to have our country which is free. We need to, yeah, because I love my country. I'm a Ugandan, and always I will die a Ugandan. So I love my country. We love our country. But when things are not moving well, we need to find solutions, because it's not really good. It's in such a situation whereby everything is hard on each and everybody, because I always tell you, Muntua 1C, that person, the common man there, the Muntua 1C is really struggling, and is the most important person in our country here, because when it comes to taxes, they buy each and everything, they pay for each and everything. So the Muntua 1C in Uganda, the common man there, he is really suffering. So please, those in those offices, those who are responsible, please try to use some common sense when you are acting, because that's your responsibility, and you have to serve our country. We need our country, we love our country, we love every Ugandan. We need to at least act like we act like we are really Ugandans, not act like those foreigners, not act like maybe we're being exported from somewhere, then you brought into Uganda, then you got an advantage of becoming a minister, becoming an MP, becoming a you know. Don't act like that. Act like a Ugandan, because Uganda is bleeding. We need at least to have mercy, God's redemption to come upon us, because we need to be helped. Yeah, that's for today. Maybe we shall meet again tomorrow, God willing, because nowadays people, whenever you speak about certain things, you're like, okay, they have this Luganda word saying oba na case, you know. I don't know. So mumbera yona we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But on my side, I think with God's mercy in Jaku Kesa, it's like we need to have a common thing when it comes to our country. We need to work upon towards our country. We need to develop it all us together. So those who are demonstrating, please, if you find a way of demonstrating, just be peaceful, because sometimes you use the demonstrations, some of them use them as a decoy. You come as in demonstrating peacefully, but others, they're not on your cause. That's the biggest problem here in Uganda. But thank you so much for tuning to Nara at 24 FM. Thank you so much for following us on Narabox TV. The rest may be tomorrow at the same time from 8 to 11. But my producer sometimes, I don't know where he stays, but sometimes it tends to not to be on time. But that is it for today. That's our program. It's called Uganda at Length. Uganda at Length, we always talk about Uganda's economy, their politics, their health, the infrastructures, and what have you. So it's about Uganda, how we can improve our country, how we can develop our country. I'm Hussein Babu. Our sponsors, please just keep on sponsoring us, and those who want to advertise with us, yes, my contact is down there. Maybe you'll contact us and see how we can do some business. Thank you so much. Yeah, see you tomorrow when God allows.
Narabox TV.